If you want his ideas shut down, this does the opposite of that. Right. He is forever immortalized. He's goated. He is going to, his videos, his views are only going to be more viral than ever before. So it's weird that they would do that. This accomplishes the opposite of what you set out to do by trying to silence it.
Charlie was committed to the clash of ideas. We talked about this a little bit. I'm thoroughly committed to the clash of ideas. I think you are. My read of you, bringing in people that you disagree with, right? What happens now to clash of ideas now that Charlie's gone? So we were trying to make this happen, and behind the scenes, find out about 24 hours ago about Charlie Kirk. Shocking.
Yeah,
totally shocking. And I realize how, now thinking about it, how many people have been affected by it. The drugs. I was coming back from Atlanta to meet you here, and I'm driving through Chattanooga, and I look over and I see a billboard, gigantic billboard on the side of the road, freeway, and it's got Charlie's picture of just him and date of birth and date of death. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm processing it. I'm still trying to process it. I had a long conversation with my wife and kids. I'm just curious, 24 hours, how are you processing the assassination?
Yeah, I was on my way here, and I got news that he was shot, and I saw the first video. It was kind of grainy, and then they sent me the second video of the close-up shot, and I was like, "You saw it." I saw it. I wish I was so graphic, and I was like, "Oh man, like this is gonna take a miracle, Damn it!" And I was already praying, but I was like on the flight praying, and just like, man, Lord, like you could do a miracle. And yes, I think when I think by the time it landed, it was like, oh, he's gone. It was a concern. And I was pretty, as a public person, as a person that loves engaging in debate, as a person that sees him as a brother in Christ, as a person who sees him as a husband, as a father, as a fellow Christian. Like I was devastated. I think this is one of those things, like as Americans, like we haven't lived through something like this in a while. I think 9/11, I think George Floyd, the assassination on Trump was wild, but it was like everything was fine and he became president. Yeah, I charged him up more. But this is so tragic and so heartbreaking. And the possibility, and it sounds like it's being reported that his family was nearby, could have potentially seen it. Yeah. As a dad, I'm so heartbroken, and I'm also grieved on like how dystopian all of this feels. Like this feels like a Black Mirror episode. Like here you have this guy who's into having conversations and debates and hashing out ideas. Yeah. And that in the middle of him doing that, while live streaming, someone comes and takes him out, and that it's instantly everywhere. Yeah. And people are passing along the videos, and they had the graphic nature of it. All of it just feels very dystopian. And then the response on the internet of like, he's either the villain or the hero, and the villainizing of him. He's a bad. I'm like, this is so wild.
It made me think of JFK. It made me think of, and I the longer I sit with this, I think this is probably, you think about things that happen in a generation. I don't think anybody's going to forget the thing about what happened to Charlie Kirk. And to me, I mean, the shock of it, televised, I just thought JFK. What did you, I mean, like, what's your family conversation look like? If you can share some of that. Like, I remember, I see this, I'm away from my family. So my wife is going through this and seeing this, and it's just the shock, the fog of confusion. And so I'm calling them, and trying to like say a word as the priest of the home to reassure them. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that conversation with your kids? You still wife?
So my kids are 10 and 4. Yeah. I called my wife, talked to her, and then they didn't know anything about it. And I didn't want to explain all of that to them right then and there. I was like, I'll explain it to them. Because me and my wife talked, and it was just like, Charlie Turning Point Faith USA reached out, and I told you about it. I didn't want to do it, and she's like, oh yeah, she had heard about it. She thankfully didn't see the video. She was paying attention. And it was just one of those, like, Heck, we just did an event together as a family at my church, you know, and I'm the guy that like, I'm meeting everybody. I'm shaking every hand. I'm taking every picture. I'm hanging out. And then so for me, it's almost like a public figure. I'm like, man, like, am I a dummy for just having my family at an event out in the open, you know? So I was like, I almost felt guilty for that. Not to make it all about me, but I was feeling guilty for that. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, we talked, and, you know, all of us on FaceTime together talked, and I just was like, this is so crazy. This is so dystopian and dark. And, you know, I didn't talk to the kids about it though, because I didn't want to tell my 10-year-old and my 4-year-old what it all means. Yeah. And they're not on the internet like that. So yeah, I did talk to them about it.
Yeah. There is a desire to, for me, my kids are 13 and 9 and boys. And so it's my desire, you know, as a father, to prepare them for the world. And I feel like with my words, I've explained, like, this is the way the world works. You know, sometimes it's horrific. But I didn't want to get into it either. It's like, I don't know what to do, you know. It just feels so heavy. And I realize everybody feels it. Everybody's feeling this way. Did you feel the urge to reach out to anybody, or maybe, you know, reassure? I mean, you are a public figure, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure people are looking to you.
Yeah, I think I just needed a moment to process. I went live on YouTube last night. So a couple, maybe 6 hours afterwards, because I just got the sense that people were like hitting me up and like, man, I don't know. So I went live on YouTube. So it was pretty raw. I checked in with a few people. I checked in with George Danko, a friend of mine. He just said, hey man, like, I know you guys were friends. Like, how are you doing? You know, I'm just checking in on you.
Yeah.
So I checked in on a few people, and yeah, I think the wild part. So I think two things. One, I think, what did the person that committed this act want? Yeah, more division, more fighting, more of this anger and this rage. I thought of 9/11 and how this happened on the heels of that. And then, yes. And you remember 9/11, like, you remember how the churches were filled. Yeah. People kind of came together. It's like, for a moment, we were just all Americans, right? And I wondered, like, oh Lord, is this another moment like this? You know? And then I wondered, how dumb are his political opponents to even think political violence is a good thing? Because this makes him potentially in the category of a JFK and an MLK. Yeah. And so this does the opposite of it. Like, you want his ideas shut down. This does the opposite of that. Right. He is forever immortalized. He's goated. He is going to, his videos, his views are only going to be more viral than ever before. So it's weird that they would do that. This accomplishes the opposite of what you set out to do by trying to silence it.
Well, and we're hearing that they're looking for, as of the recording of this video, they're looking for the person who did this. And I suppose in the days and weeks, we'll figure out what the motive was and all that. I wonder though, so I heard something. So again, I'm traveling in the car and I have a lot to think about, and I'm hearing about the aftermath, and I heard two sentiments. The first one was, we're not backing down. This is from the right, we're not backing down. We're going to continue to get out there. Nobody's going to stop the truth. The second one was, I was listening to Michael Knowles this morning. I was listening to Glenn Beck. Their sort of sentiment was, things are different now. And Charlie was committed to the clash of ideas. We talked about this a little bit. I'm thoroughly committed to the clash of ideas. I think you are, my read of you bringing in people that you disagree with, right? What happens now to clash of ideas now that Charlie's gone?
Well, Ben Shapiro said, like, this is the end of outdoor events for anything political related. Yeah. Like, after Trump last year and this year, that I think this is it. Like, there's no more open air events like this. I think that was Ben Shapiro's assessment. Yeah. I think I start thinking about my friends like Avery Godlogic and Clifton Stewart and how they're just out there all the time. David Wood, like, these guys are just out there in public. And I think about that and I go, okay, what does that mean for them? Because I think all of us as husbands, providers, protectors have a degree of precaution we need to take. Yeah. So I would hope that the clash of ideas happen, but they happen in safe spaces.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like safe space, like this is safe space, right? Like I was going to say like literally safe spaces with proper security protocols indoors, where something like this can never happen. It should never happen again.
Yeah.
And the content may have to suffer. Like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it might not look as cool if you're not outdoor or whatever. But I go there, my brain goes there. I go, we have to be very cautious with how we're maneuvering out there.
Yeah.
The news is still coming out. We're hearing things about who the shooter was, what potential motivation was behind this. Moving forward, how do we right the ship? You talk about being visible, being a public figure. I think I'm sort of realizing what this means for me in my own little niche. How do we bring the light of the gospel to this dark time?
Well, I mean, she just said to love your enemies. So those people that are enemies, whether that's political, whether that's religious, ideological, like, man, as we're hurting, what if we responded with grace and kindness, right? Like, and what if I've had multiple conversations today with people that are like, well, what about when he said this? And I'm like, still no, well, what about? Like, still doesn't justify it,
Right.
And so I like, maybe God willing, hopefully we all have people in our real life that we still disagree with and we haven't completely went into echo chambers.
Yeah.
And maybe this is an extension for all of us to come together and just talk and listen to each other, and so I've had some conversations this morning that I thought were productive and helpful and encouraging. I think that's what I think we need to be talking to each other, because I think like this could be an opportunity to come together and heal the country and hash out our differences, I loved like Jake from the Young Turks and his response, and Crystal from Breaking Points and her response. I'm specifically pointing out left-leaning people, or liberal people, leftists that I completely disagree with on everything on. I love those their responses. I think those people are doing a good job leading. My concern is how do we, with everyone now having a voice on social media, like everyone has a voice.
Yeah.
When I started YouTube, it was before TikTok, and I thought, how cool to TikTok. Everyone could be famous on TikTok. Like if you have something interesting to say, you can have a platform now, right? Because it democratized it. And now I'm like, oh man, I don't like it here anymore. Because at least with YouTube and other things, there's a barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Right. Now the barrier to entry is gone. So anyone with a phone could pick up and go viral. You say the most heinous things, or anyone on a phone can leave a comment and go viral in a comment section and say the most heinous thing about someone.
Yeah.
And so that's the part of me that goes, man, you're going to be accountable for these words. Like you're going to be accountable for your, but what about, approach to it? Like, and again, like, I think it's okay to say, I didn't agree with everything Charlie Kirk ever said or did. Like, that's fine. That doesn't, if someone's not perfect, that doesn't mean they can't be making progress and being helpful, And that's the part that really bugs me. It's like in the macro of things, every person in America has way more in common with Charlie Kirk than they have, disagreements on. Like we all want our families to do well. We all enjoy good food. We all enjoy a good nap. Like we're much more human, and we have way more in common than we disagree on. And even the things we disagree on, what we're actually disagreeing on is what is the best for other people. Right? Like if you think about like the disagreements, it's like, hey, that's harmful. Well, to who? To this people. Well, I think this people should be protected. It's like, well, I think those people technically had a mental illness up until 2019. Right? Like so we're really arguing about what is best for people. But we all ultimately do want what's best. We're just arguing about how we go about it.
Yeah.
And if we talk to each other and have debates, which is why I love what you do so much, and learn the fallacies and having good, robust conversations, I think maybe the needle can move.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it's interesting. And I hate to do, because I never met Charlie. I've been a sort of a cheerleader on the side, did a few videos, and I felt like his victories were all our victories, which again is just so shocking. Part of me doesn't even really believe that we're talking about this. You know what I mean? I kind of wonder, like, if he were here now, what would he say? what would he say in response to somebody else, a public figure, this happening to them? And I get the impression that he would say, love people well, shine the light of the gospel of Jesus Christ as brightly as possible, and do it in unique ways in the circles of influence that God has given you. I don't know of a better answer, but I will just have to pray. I was thinking about something from the scripture, and this came to mind. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 1. And this is the Apostle Paul. And basically he says, blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our affliction, so that we may be able to comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God. And then it says, we felt that we had received the sentence of death, but that was to make us rely not on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead. On him we have set our hope that he will deliver us again. Boy, I don't even know if that's a way of, ending this conversation. But if we don't put our trust and hope in the Lord, I don't see how we get out of this vlog. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jesus is the only pathway forward for us personally. Like, this would be the time to turn off phone and take off the social media from the phone and get to praying and fasting and get back in the Word. And then my other thought would be, as a nation, like as a republic, like I don't know how we move forward from this, because it was already a lot with the 2024 assassination attempt on Trump. Now it's an actual assassination. It's not an attempt. It was an actual assassination. Yeah. I don't know how we move forward as a republic. So I think we have to have, because I think I don't think no one wants to alternative. I think no one wants to alternative. I don't think we want Trump in some of his statements saying we're going to go after and prosecute our political opponents. Like, I don't think you really want that, and what that can entail, and what if the left then gets power next time around. Right? Yeah. So I don't think we really want the other side of this. So I don't know. So I'm actually hopeful that the people in power and influence that are on the left, the Barack Obamas, the Michelle, I don't know if she put out a statement, but the Obamas, Harris, guys like the Young Turks, Crystal Ball, I'm hopeful in the statements they're putting out, because they seem to have to this is terrible, never justified, bad. I'm concerned about the bottom-up culture. I'm concerned about the same people that were saying Trump faked his own assassination. Yeah. And all that. I'm concerned about them and like, where's their heart and where's their mind, and what is the path of healing for them?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like what we should be doing is sticking together with the brothers and sisters, getting back in church, making sure that our hearts are right, our lives are right. And then hopefully by model of character, others will be inspired to do the same.